Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Welcome to this week's Killer Innovations. This week's topic is picking up again off of some questions that I've gotten from a number of followers of the show, and that is around how to make money from your ideas. A number of you reach out throughout all the years of the show. You may have an idea, you're looking for advice. What I thought I would do is just do one whole show with my advice, lessons learned, on how to make money from your ideas. It's really two paths. Path meaning you've got the great idea and you want to go build a company, or you've got a great idea and you don't want to build a company, you want to license it. Now, this is only one episode, so it's greatly condensed, and depending on your feedback and your thoughts and additional questions you might have, we'll go into future episodes and go into this in more detail. But that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode, is how to make money from your ideas. But before we jump in, I got that favor to ask: follow, like, and share. Follow us on social media so you stay up to date on everything we're working on. Like this episode so others can more easily find it, and then share it with others. Put it out there so others can find it. Share it on your social media channel. Share it with coworkers, organizations, your boss, your leadership, who may be interested in the topics that we cover. And with that, let's hop in to this week's episode. Most people have great ideas from time to time, but do nothing with them because they don't know how to make money from their ideas. Ideas are valuable. And if you want to learn how to make money from your ideas, you can set yourself up for life if you learn how. Now, heads up, when I was CTO at Hewlett-Packard, I would get hundreds, if not thousands, of inventors wanting to sell their ideas to HP. So how do you stand out when there's hundreds or thousands of other innovators, inventors out there creating great ideas? In order to get the attention of the industry and to make money from your ideas, you need to be known as an innovator. You got to be part of the community. This means that you need to build a reputation as someone who comes up with great ideas and then follows through on them. The more successful you are as an inventor, the more people will want to do business with you. Now, there are several ways to build a reputation as an inventor. Here are the two best ways I've used. One is submit your ideas to competitions. There are hundreds of innovation competitions out there. Submit your ideas. This will give you exposure to a wide audience and will show that you're serious about your work. And two, share your work on social media. Don't be afraid to share some of your ideas on social media. This will help you gain credibility in the eyes of potential customers and clients. The most important thing to remember is that to take time is to build a reputation as an inventor. This takes time. Don't expect to become famous overnight, or it's not just the one project that you're going to be successful with. Keep working at it, and eventually you will get known and you will become that go-to person for great ideas. Now, with that, what should you not do? If you want to make money from your ideas, there are a few things you should avoid. And here are the four biggest mistakes people make when trying to make money from their ideas. 1, not taking any action. This is by far the biggest mistake people make when it comes to making money from your ideas. Ideas are worthless. The value is zero if you take no action. If you do nothing other than write it on the back of a napkin or on a piece of paper or stick it in your idea notebook. You need to be willing to put in the work to make your ideas a reality. You're not going to make money on an idea that you spent 30 minutes writing down on a piece of paper. You got to put work into it. It takes effort. You need to be thinking into the hundreds, if not thousands of hours for you to go from a spark of an idea until you're ready to start talking to people about making money from it. And I can't tell you the number of times I've run into people who come to me and they say, "Oh, I thought of that first. I was sitting in a bar and I thought of it. I could be a billionaire." No. Having the spark of an idea, the value is zero. How much effort did you put into it? How much deep thought? How much validation did you go through? How much discussions did you go with experts to understand whether or not your idea was, sitting down and having a spark of an idea, value zero. You need to take action. Number two is protecting your ideas. Now, there's two ends of the spectrum on this one. There's some cases where people put no protection in, and there's some that won't talk to anybody unless you sign an NDA. So, for instance, if you came to me and you wanted to present to me an idea, I will not sign an NDA, and I ask you that you only give me enough information that does not divulge the secret to your idea, but gives me enough context to understand whether or not it's something that I would be interested in. Our policy at HP was if you sent us a document that had confidential or do not disclose or whatever in the footers, headers, front page of a document, we would immediately delete the document. We would respond to you saying we are not allowed to accept any form of confidential information. So you have to figure out, how do you tell people about your idea without revealing all? At the same time, you need good legal advice. You may want to think about filing a provisional patent. Very simple, very easy, low cost, starts the clock in protecting your idea. Because in the United States in particular, there's all kinds of rules around triggering what's called a disclosure of an idea that would invalidate a later patent filing that you would make. So, protecting your ideas and understanding, a lot of people think they know. Unless you've got deep expertise in it, get advice from others. Third, not marketing your idea. They don't market the idea properly. They don't go out there to talk to people and let people know about it. They just think, "Oh, I've got this idea," and somehow through osmosis, people are going to find out about it. How do you market it? How do you position it? How do you get the right people and right organizations to become aware? Number four, not being persistent. They give up too soon. A lot of people think, "Oh, I sent it in and they weren't interested, so that's it. I'm done." Right? When you're first starting out, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go your way. It may not be your first idea. It may be your 10th idea. Like being a book author. You might write a book, you may send it to 5, 10, 15 publishers before you finally get somebody who's willing to publish it. So, same thing here, persistence. Persistence wins the game. Making money from the ideas is not easy. Trust me. I've been in this game for 40 years, but it's possible, but it's not easy. You have to put the work in. So how do you monetize it? What are the different ways to monetize it? Well, here are the tips and steps that you should go through if you're thinking about having an idea that you want to specifically monetize. One is validate that there's a market for your idea. There are many ways to do this, but the easiest way is to do search online, finding companies and organizations that produce products and services that may be similar to what you have in mind. And then look and find out a few of those potential markets, research them further, see who their customers are, understand if your idea is really unique or maybe not so unique. Second step is talk to people in your chosen market. Find some experts, read some articles, read some press, read. One of the big areas I do research in is in PhD thesis papers through Google, the Google academic search. You can look for papers, PhD theses, etc., and you can find names and contact information for some really top-notch experts and find out what they think of your idea and see if there's a way that you can improve it. Get their suggestions. This step is important because it'll help you validate your idea and ensure that there is a demand for it. Is the market's there? Talk to experts. At this point, you have a choice. One option is to work with a company that's an expert in licensing and monetizing ideas for inventors. The other choice is to take your idea and create a company around it. That's your two choices. Make your decision. If you choose to create a company around your idea, then step 3 is you need to create a prototype. Once you've talked to people, you've got to build something. You got something to show. You got to have something tangible. You've got to go build it. You've got to, refine it. You got to create the prototype. So this will help you further validate your idea and give you potentially some potential investors. Now, then the 4th step is finding investors. This is the ultimate step that you got to have convince people to part with their money to finance your idea. This can be the most difficult part, but there are many resources available to help you find potential investors. And there are lots of people out there that will help navigate you through, make the introductions for you. Once you've found an investor, you can negotiate a deal and start working on making your idea a reality. Now, if you choose not to do the company one and you want to look for using an invention firm, and again, this is if you're not sure how to get started with making money, then go talk to these companies that help inventors. These companies can help you protect your idea, market it, build prototypes, etc. Find customers to license it. They can help take your idea and turn it into reality. Now, there are many firms that claim to offer invention services. Be careful, as some will take your money and deliver nothing in return. There are loads of scams in this particular space, so you want to be extra careful. If you're interested in working with a company like this, there are a few things you should keep in mind. 1, make sure you understand the terms of the agreement. You're going to need to sign an agreement with the firm. This agreement will outline the terms of the relationship. It's important that you read and understand that agreement before signing it. Biggest issue I run into is when inventors come to me and they feel like they're getting ripped off by some invention firm, and I read their agreement and realize that they did not read it before they signed it. Read it, understand it. 2, be cautious of companies that require upfront fees, particularly significant upfront fees. There are many reputable invention firms out there, but there are also lots of scams. One way to avoid being scammed is to be cautious of companies that require significant upfront fees. These fees can be in the form of a retainer or an application fee. While some companies do charge these fees, you should be wary of companies that require them. Double check, think long and hard. 3, do your research. Before you decide to work with an invention firm, it's important to do your research. Talk to other inventors that they've worked with and see how they've had a positive experience with the company that you're considering. You should also just check with the Better Business Bureau to see if there's any complaints filed against the company. 4, like everything in life, get everything in writing. When you decide to work with an invention firm, make sure you get everything in writing. If they make a verbal promise, document it. This includes the terms of your agreement and the fees that you'll be charged. Get everything in writing. That'll help protect you if something should go wrong. And be prepared to give up some control. I'm surprised by how many inventors think they can work with these firms, yet they want to maintain 100% control of the idea. That's not how it works. When you work with an invention firm, you're going to have to give up some control of your idea. This is because they've got an investment going into this also. Good invention firms, they really get excited about your idea, they'll come right alongside that. They'll invest their time, their energy for participation in the royalties on the backside. If you're not comfortable with this, then working with an invention firm may not be the right choice for you. Invention firms can be great ways to get started, with making money off your first couple of ideas. It's a great way to get started when you're new in the innovation game. Get a couple things out there, get some royalties coming in, and then build up your firm that you can do the same thing. And so, again, doing your research, spending the time, thinking long and hard to help you avoid being scammed. And I can't tell you how many inventors and innovators I've talked to who've been scammed. Now, you need to do the research to find a reputable firm. One reputable firm that I would suggest you do take a look at, and that is Inventor. Inventor, they are a reputable firm that's helped many inventors get started with making money from their ideas. Now, you can check them out at inventright.com. They also have a very great and interesting and very robust YouTube channel for inventors at InventRight TV, and we'll have all the links in the show notes. Now, note, this is not a sponsorship or an endorsement. I have not used the services of InventRight on any of my ideas. They have impressed me with the breadth and the depth of ideas that they have monetized, and they have a very long and deep track record of successful technology, innovation, idea licensing. So check them out. Now, we did have Stephen Key, the founder and CEO of InventRight, on the show back in April. So you may want to go check out that podcast and hear more about the kinds of services these kinds of companies offer. So, again, making money from your ideas can be a daunting task, but it's definitely possible. By following the steps outlined, you can increase your chances for success. Remember, be patient and stay focused on your goal. And most importantly, don't give up your dreams. With hard work and dedication, you can achieve that dream of seeing your innovation become a real product or service on the shelf that customers buy and use. So go out there and make your idea a reality. So, what idea are you working on that you want to monetize, that you want to make money from? What is it? Pick one and let's move that forward. Take it and figure out which path you want to take it on. Do you want to take it on the path of building a company? Start down that path, following the steps I outlined. If you want to go and say, no, I've got my full-time gig and things are such that I'm not in a position to go start a new company, and you want to go do a licensing deal or sell the idea, then start talking to firms that are out there. InventRight being one, but there are many of them out there. Again, be careful because of the amount of scams that are going on out there with this with these invention licensing organizations that are out there. So again, if you want to go down that path, pick your path and start making progress against it. And the key here is commit. Don't say, well, I'll go out there and if I get an easy, fast response, then I'll stop. No. These things take time. You need to have that innovation grit. You have to continue to push through all the challenges and the feedback and the no's, etc., that you're going to hear as you are trying to take your idea and make it a reality. So, hopefully, you found today's episode to be helpful. Love your feedback and give us thoughts. If you think this is a topic that you think we should expand upon and get into more details about licensing structures and intellectual property regards to licensing, we can cover all those materials. But again, looking for your guidance and your feedback on the topics that you would find most interesting. So give us some thoughts, give us some feedback, post the comments down below. Let us know, subscribe so that you continue to get all of the episodes, no matter on what platform or what site you're getting this content from. Subscribe so that we continue to provide that to you. And again, thanks for your time of staying with us all the way through to the end here. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for being a follower. And we wouldn't be doing this without you. And again, we've been now 18 years of doing the show, and it's been your encouragement and your support that's kept us motivated to keep doing this. And thank you. With that, we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.